Michael, can you tell us what the latest is on Shane Watson and his availability?
Yep, we've selected our team and we've got the same 11 as the first test. So Shane Watson and Mitchell Starc both missing out. Firstly with Watto, I guess he's improved a lot over the last few days, but we feel like he's probably a few days short of being 100%. So we're doing everything in our power to give him the opportunity to be right for the third test in Perth. He's certainly come a long way. His fitness, the fitness stuff he's gone through with Alex Contouris, he's ticked all those boxes, but at this stage we still feel he's a couple of days short or a few days short.
So you were pretty clear, I guess, before the Brisbane test that you wanted him to be bowling to sort of guarantee his selection. Is that still your feeling, that he really needs to be kind of 100%?
That's still Watto's feeling as well. He sees himself as an all-rounder. He wants to be an all-rounder. He knows the impact he has in this game with both bat and ball, and he's a huge part, like I say, of our squad when he's doing both very well. So yeah, our plans are to try and get him to 100% as quickly as we can, knowing that we've got 8 days now before the third test in Perth. Dan.
Michael, explain the thinking behind keeping the same bowling attack and obviously Mitchell missing out.
Well, I think we had a lot of success last summer. I thought we did really well after, obviously, day 2 there was rain in Brisbane, but after day 1 I thought the bowlers come back really well. We took 14 of the South African wickets, where they took 5 of ours. I think we've got a good combination. We've got a good mixture of aggression, but also bowlers that can bowl long spells and dry runs up if required out there on that wicket, which generally at Adelaide there's periods of the game that you have to bowl quite tight. I think we've improved as a bowling unit throughout that whole first test. We improved, and I'm confident as a team we'll be better for the hit out in Brisbane and come out and perform better in this second test.
Do you think Ben Hilfenhaus in particular is going to be better for that run in Brisbane and also the work he's done with Ali in between tests?
I think all the bowlers will, to be honest. I think it's there was a few nerves, I guess, on day 1, and we'll all, it was our first game together as a team for quite a while. So I think everybody will be better for that. Chris?
Michael, Morné Morkel said he was going to hit you with more short balls. How do you respond to that? Do you welcome the challenge, I suppose? And how do you think you played the short ball against him in Brisbane?
I guess it'll be no different to Cape Town or Brisbane or Joburg. I've had it my whole career, I guess. I've faced a lot of bounces throughout my career, and yeah, I'm sure this week it'll be no different here in Adelaide and WA. I thought I got a fair few in Brisbane, so you can only bowl 2 and over, so it means I've got 4 other balls to look forward to in the over. Just down the back.
Just with the last bowling spot, Starc and Hilfenhaus, was there much thought given to changing, or was it a pretty clear-cut decision?
I don't think it was as clear as Starc versus Hilfenhaus. I think there was certainly talk about Starkey coming into the 11. He's performed really well for New South Wales. He's been bowling beautifully in the shorter form of the game, and in the nets as well. I just think we feel at the moment that, like I say, our squad or our attack improved as the game went on in Brisbane. This attack's had some success, especially last summer against India in these conditions, and we're confident that we picked the right attack to take 20 wickets.
Yeah. Are you good? Sorry.
Yeah, just with the bowlers then, how much different do they have to approach it here in Adelaide to what they did at the Gabba?
There's obviously difference in conditions. The pitch is a lot different out there to what it is in Brisbane, but the advantage we have is all these 3 cooks have played a fair bit of cricket out here, so we know the conditions before we take the field. Our execution needs to be better on day 1, whether that's with the bat or with the ball. As a team, we have addressed that, and like I say, I think there was a few nerves leading up to the first test in Brisbane. We have no excuse to not be better, especially on day 1 come tomorrow. Mal.
Michael, from the moment that it appeared from the moment that Shane Watson arrived here that he was never going to be able to bowl. Apparently his workloads weren't up, and he sort of certainly at the first opportunity seemed to rule himself out as a bowler.
Yeah.
Should it have always been that he just joined the squad with an effort to get fully fit for Perth, rather than the Willie Owani sort of speculation that went on for days before the final decision was made?
I think it was all in good intent. I think the intent was great that we, Watto plus support staff plus the team want him back out on the park. We want him playing because we know how important he is to our group. As a player, there's no doubt about that. I just think we've given Watto every chance, and like I say, I just think we feel support staff, selectors, and Shane as well, probably feel is a few days short of being at his best. So, yeah, I don't think the speculation has had any impact on the team. I think the guys have all gone about their work as well as they can. I guess, Rob Quiney still did all of his preparation over the last 3 days in the nets, did plenty of batting and catching and things like that. So I don't think it's had an effect on the team. I just think we had really good intent to give Watto every opportunity to get back out in the park. It's just, unfortunate that he's run out of time.
Corey?
Pup, Siddle and Pattinson said on the weekend that they sensed a real vulnerability from the Proteas top order when they got inside their head, tested them verbally. Do you expect more of that this time around?
Well, I said in my column, I think the intent, how we play our best cricket, I think the Australian way is to play good, positive, aggressive cricket, but also understand that there's a line that you can't cross. And, everybody in that change room knows that we will, we'll be nice and positive with the same intent as we had in Brisbane. I thought the guys did a fantastic job, and I think the way they stood up to the challenge, especially in the second innings, and, showed a bit of fire that they had in their belly, I think is really good for our game. From both sides, I think the banter on the field is what comes with playing at the highest level. There's certainly a mutual respect between both teams. We play it hard on the field, but we get on very well off the field, and I'm certain the next 2 test matches, you'll see plenty of what you've seen in Brisbane.
Benny?
Michael, the speculation that there was about Shane coming into the test, did you guys see eye to eye on that, or was there a disagreement over whether he could play as a batsman and that kind of thing between you two?
No, not at all. We have a great relationship, firstly. I know there's been talk of that being a little bit different, but Watto and I, our friendship and our professional relationship when it comes to captain and vice-captain is as close as I can certainly ask for. We spoke daily, even before we flew to Adelaide as a team, and I was, kept well and truly in the loop of where he was at and how he was travelling and what he was doing preparation-wise. And then once we got here, like I say, our intent was to give Watto every single chance as a very important player and vice-captain of the team to walk out onto this park for the second test match. But, like I say, unfortunately, we've run out of time.
And Michael, the momentum from Brisbane that you guys felt you had, how do you keep that going given there's been quite a break between test matches?
Well, I think the players can take some confidence, certainly, about the way we performed, like I say, the way we improved throughout that test match, but it doesn't guarantee much. Like words, it's not necessarily about what you say, it's what you do, and I think as a team we need to have that attitude. We need to make sure, come tomorrow, we are 100% ready for that first delivery, whether we're batting or bowling. Our intent's exactly like it was after day 1 in Brisbane. And you make the most of the opportunities that you get. That's the hardest thing about Test cricket. The game goes up and down over 5 days, and generally the team that can grab hold of their opportunities and make the most of them will win the Test match. And when you're playing against the number 1 team in the world, you can't afford to let one thing slide. So, we've got to execute our plans as well as we can. And if we do get momentum, hang on to it.
Chloe?
Michael, do you expect Bobby Quiney to perhaps have a bit more composure about him as he goes into this test without all the hype about a test debut, I suppose? He looked really positive in Brisbane but got out hooking. And does he have a chance to, stake a claim for, for a longer term spot here?
I thought Rob played really well in the first innings, to be honest. He creamed the ball he got out on. If it goes a metre each side, it's 4 or 6. So I think he looked really comfortable at the crease. He's coming off some runs against South Africa for Australia A. He's full of confidence. If you've watched him bat the nets the last 3 days, he's hitting the ball as good as anybody. Like I said, I said before the Test match in Brisbane that I'd be surprised if he didn't make 100, and that's because I know the way Rob can play. I know how well he's hitting the ball, and he's a very composed guy. The big occasions certainly won't get to him. So I'm as confident as I was in the first test that he'll walk out tomorrow or whenever he gets his opportunity, and he'll make the most of that. He'll make a big score. Like anybody, you've got to get through the start of your innings. It's always hard, especially against a very good attack. But if you get in, you've got to try and cash in, and I'm confident if Rob gets in, he'll make a big score for us.
Dan?
Michael, Nathan Lyon, I think you said you were quite happy with the role that he played in Brisbane in terms of bowling tight and bowling some long spells. will have a slightly different role here as the wicket wears and be more of an aggressor, you think?
Yeah, he might do. Let's hope he does. It means the wicket's spinning and we've got South Africa under pressure. But I think he's in a good place. He can do either. He can contain if he has to, and we can dictate that by the fields we have. But then if there's an opportunity for Nathan to put more pressure on the batters, I think he's got the skill to be able to do that as well. He's bowling well. I thought he'd come back really well in Brisbane, and that shows his character. I know he wants to do well in front of his home crowd, but as I've said to Nathan plenty of times, he needs to keep doing exactly what he's doing. Don't change a thing, and he'll continue to have success at the highest level.
What do you think of his back spinner?
Yeah, well, we're calling it a doucher more than a back spinner. Yeah, look, it's something he's worked on, and it was nice to see him get a wicket with that last Test match. So hopefully we'll see plenty more wickets for Australia with ball spinning both directions.
Michael, what do you make of the pitch, and do you think there'll be enough in it at the start and in the end to force a result?
Yeah, I hope so. I think looking at results over the summer so far, there's been enough there early on, but also if you get in as a batting unit, you can put a big score up front. Generally, Adelaide it's quite nice to bat on day one, day two, and then it gradually gets a little bit lower, and spin plays a big part. So first innings are probably going to be pretty important. But the ground's in fantastic condition, as it always is here. All the boys look forward to playing at Adelaide Oval, and this Test match will be no different.
Mel.
Just following up on Chloe's question previously, is Rob Quiney simply a fill-in, or if he makes a decent score, is he a chance to stake his claim for a longer term?
I don't think anybody's ever a fill-in. When you get the chance to play for Australia, you've got to grab your opportunity with both hands. All you can do is score runs as a batter, and as a bowler, all you can do is take wickets, and Rob's no different. If he can grab hold of this opportunity, then we worry about that come the third Test. But like I say as well, it's always a good problem to have. We want as many guys scoring runs and taking wickets, whether that's for Australia or first-class cricket as possible. But no, to me, there's no such thing as a fill-in when you get the chance to play for Australia. He's earned the right, that's for sure.
Michael, you mentioned the ground's in fantastic condition, but is it going to be a bit weird playing with only half the, with the stands down and all that?
It'll certainly be different. But yeah, look, I think the South African Cricket Association have great plans for the ground. I think it's exciting for South Australia. Did I say South African then? Sorry, South Australia. They might have great plans as well. South Australia has great plans for this ground. Like I say, it doesn't change the condition of the outfield or the pitch. They're still in fantastic nick. It's certainly going to be different not seeing people sitting on both sides of the ground, but come 12 months, 18 months when all the stands are up, I think it's going to be really exciting for the future of this great ground.
Wayne.
Michael, Matthew Wade had a good solid Test in Brisbane, his first in Australian soil. How do you feel he's sort of settling into the team?
I feel like Wadey's been here for 5 years, to be honest. He's that type of guy. He's a very hard worker. He goes about his work the right way, that's for sure. He's got goals to become better and become the best player he can be. I think he's a wonderful talent, and we've seen a slight piece of that in Brisbane, the way he bats. And I think his keeping continues to improve. Like I say, he's a great guy to have in the group, and he's in for a bright future, that's for sure.
Ben.
Michael, what's your main message to David Warner before this Test?
See the ball and hit the ball. Like it has been his whole career. Anytime I've had any talk to him in any form of the game, it doesn't change. When you got that much talent, you just got to react and not put too much pressure on yourself. And Davey's in a really good place at the moment with his mind. I think he's come a long way over the last 4 or 5 days. A couple of days at home, I think, really helped him clear his mind and realise where he wants to go and what he wants to achieve. I know he's looking forward to this challenge.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Just from the second, they held the announcement chat to now, so I know there's going to be a few minutes.
Yep.